Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, June 3rd. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, a gunman opens fire at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, killing 5 people. It was June 28, 2018, nearly a year ago. The victims were Gerald Fishman, John McNamara, Rob Hyacin, Wendy Winters, and Rebecca Smith. Their names are now listed on a memorial to journalists at the Newsuem in the nation's capital. They're among 21 journalists added to the memorial today who died while reporting around the world. They died in Annapolis, Maryland's capital, and in countries including Colombia and Afghanistan. Each year, the Newsuem rededicates the memorial to recognize the significant work of reporters and the dangers they face.
For more than 25 years, Fishman was the conscience and voice of the Annapolis News Organization, writing scathing, insightful, and always exacting editorials about the community.
They understood that the key to success as a human being, and certainly the key to success as a journalist, is to remember your humanity, to look for the human being behind the story.
John wasn't from here, but more than one person has said, really, I thought he was, because he just very quickly became part of the community.
My mom is an American hero. She gave her heart, she gave her last breath to the defense of the free press and in defense of her family at the Capitol and in Annapolis.
The memorial now contains the names of more than 2,000 reporters, photographers, broadcasters, and news executives worldwide who were killed in the pursuit of news since 1837. Well, 3 teens are facing up to 30 years in prison in the death of Baltimore County Police Officer Amy Caprio. Darrell Ward, Eugene Genius, and Derek Matthews pleaded guilty today to felony murder charges as part of a plea deal. Caprio was struck by a 4th teen driving a Jeep, Donta Harris, as she responded to a home burglary committed by the group in May 2018. She later died of her injuries. Harris was convicted of felony murder for his role in Caprio's death. Police need your help locating a 13-year-old boy who went missing from a school in Largo early this morning. Officials say Silas Young was last seen about 9 a.m. at the Foundation School in the 1300 block of McCormick Drive. They say Silas is a student at Foundation. He was bused there but never made it inside the school's doors. Anyone with information about his whereabouts is asked to contact police. The Maryland Attorney General's office issues a warning to consumers. Scammers are impersonating police to get money from you. Thieves are reportedly demanding money from Marylanders who have missed jury duty or court appearance. Officials say no money should be paid, even if jail or fine is threatened. If you have questions about this scam, contact the Consumer Protection Division at 410-528-8662. Police have identified the victim of a fatal shooting in District Heights early Saturday morning. He's 26-year-old Davian Brandon of Curtis Drive in Suitland. On June 1st at about 1:30 a.m., officers on patrol discovered Brandon and another man in a car in a parking lot in the 1900 block of Rochelle Avenue. Both men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. Brandon was pronounced dead on the scene, and the second man was hospitalized with critical injuries. Police do not believe that this was a random shooting. Anyone with information is asked to contact investigators. Well, the start of summer is actually a few weeks off, but for us, the season begins tonight. For the next 3 months, CTV will bring you a special summertime series on things to do and places to see around the region. In our first segment, we take a look at the art of growing dwarf trees and shrubs.
Bonsai trees are selected very carefully for their beautiful foliage, their fall color, their bark.
Curator Michael James is talking about a special collection of about 350 miniature trees housed at the National Bonsai and Penjing Museum.
Their purpose is to be trees that are trained to look like trees in the landscape, in the forests, and how they would grow naturally, yet in a small size in a little container.
Each tree is artistically crafted into a unique bonsai. Sometimes they're even quite old.
This Japanese white pine is the oldest bonsai in the museum. It's been around since 1625. It actually survived the atomic bomb at Hiroshima in 1945, and 30 years later, it was offered as a special gift to the U.S.
Andy Bello explains what goes into the bonsai craft.
So I'm applying copper wire onto this needle juniper, and this is what we do in order to shape the branches and give the effect of age and, time. That's the sculpting part of bonsai. So that angles them down and kind of brings some of the age and weight that you would see in an older tree.
The indoor-outdoor museum gives visitors a sense of serenity. The curators say to get the full effect, you have to make more than one trip.
Everybody should come here at least 4 times a year so they experience each tree in all the different seasons and how they change throughout the year.
And the National Bonsai and Penjing Museum is located at the National Arboretum. It's free and open to the public.